a pretty standard Princeton story. I was working in New York and lived in New York and Brooklyn. The woman who's now my wife was working in Philadelphia, and we needed to find a spot that was geographically sort of central. One of the places we ended up looking at pretty early was Princeton Borough. It had a lot of things that we liked about urban style living that she was enjoying in Philadelphia and I was enjoying in Brooklyn, which is to be able to walk to mass transportation. Our first apartment was right on Nassau Street, and it was a quick 15-minute walk to grab the Dinky to go work in New York. It's one of the things that attracted me to Princeton Borough in the first place. My name is Andrew Koontz. I'm a Princeton Borough resident. I'm also a Princeton Borough Councilman. First joined council in 2004. I was a commuter on the Dinky from 1994 through to the end of 2007.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that after all the debates that have gone on over the years about saving the Dinky, that somebody would actually suggest that it be moved, because it's a very precious resource as far as this community is concerned. I'm Marvin Reed. I'm former mayor here in the borough of Princeton and currently serving on the planning board as their chair of their master plan committee.
One goal is really to create a village for the arts. Part of what we're trying to do is to expand the number of classrooms and workshops and performance spaces. We're also proposing a satellite for the Art Museum. I'm Bob Durkee. I'm the Vice President and Secretary of Princeton University. The second goal is to very significantly improve traffic circulation in this part of town, this part of the campus. We're also thinking of this as an important community center in a way, where there would be an outdoor plaza, there would be some retail, and of course we hope that members of the community would want to participate in the arts as well. And to achieve all that, we do need to move the end of the Dinky line just a little bit further to the south.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that it's a necessary step. I think that the university's plans are very convenient for the university. When I look at those plans, I see a lot of areas where there could be greater bottlenecks than exist today.
When the community initially responded to the plans by saying, would you take another look at whether there's a way to make this work, leaving things where they are, we went back to our consultants, we went back to the architects and the planners and said, is there any way to do this? And their answer is no.
It's a longer walk to the Dinky. I mean, it just makes it more inconvenient, I think, to the local populace and for people who want to visit here during the day. My name is Bill Howard. I own Triangle Repro Center, 150 Nassau Street, Princeton, New Jersey. Been in business here for 25 years. I always felt that New Jersey Transit's for the public, and that the main purpose of New Jersey Transit would be to serve the greatest amount of the public. And to me, that would be bringing them to downtown Princeton.
If you leave the Dinky where it is now, then under our agreement with New Jersey Transit, you also have to leave the Dinky parking where it is now. If you're going to leave the Dinky where it is now, you probably leave the Wawa where it is now. If you leave all of that where it is now, you can't fix the circulation problems.
What we have seen is we have seen the university developing plans, displaying them to the community, and not actually taking a lot of input or listening to the community as to what the community's wants and desires are.
Of course, we're very conscious that it's an emotive issue. I'm Paul Muldoon, and I'm the chairperson of the Lewis Centre for the Arts at Princeton. We tend to think of our car as an extension of ourselves, and we tend even to think probably of a train carriage as an extension of ourselves.
I don't think it's emotional. They have something that they want to do that's very important to them, it seems to me, which is to link the traditional undergraduate campus here with Forbes College over there. Why that's so important to them? I don't know. Perhaps that's an emotional thing with the university.
What we're hoping to do is to provide an even better service in terms of what's available at the Dinky Station, in terms of one's been able to sit in the station. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing? Perhaps to meet a human being from whom to buy a ticket. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing? Rather than standing out in the exposed to the elements as one is at the moment. Wouldn't it be a lovely thing to buy a very good cup of coffee in the station? That's part of what we're setting out to do.
We have not thought that the additional minute or two of walking would be a very significant additional amount of time. One of the distances we've measured is the distance in town between Small World Coffee and the public library. That's about the same distance as we're talking about. Or the distance between Nassau Presbyterian Church, which is on the front of the campus, and the Nassau Inn.
What they're doing is clearly less convenient to the community, because to the urban center on Nassau Street in downtown Princeton, the Dinky would be further away.
It's just my sentiment and some of my closer business friends. We just feel it's wrong.
Who in their right mind would say that the present circumstances of the Princeton Dinky Station are ideal? The Wawa itself is, I think, only to be described as an eyesore. It looks like a vacant lot in that area. It looks absolutely dreadful.